If this was a watch Tinder, the Timex would have a big problem because it just doesn't fit. It looks like a brutalistic experiment from the 70s that has managed to travel through time to 2023. Well, exactly that has happened. The new Timex World Time 1972 brings back a Timex design from the archives that might look brutal at first glance, but there is a lot to discover. So let's go over the basics first. We have a pretty affordable quartz-driven piece with a case diameter of 39 millimeters, a length lug-to-lug of 41.5, height of 12, and a 20 millimeter lug width. It has a rotating bezel with an aluminium insert, an acrylic crystal, and is waterproof up to 50 meters. The watch is equipped with a leather strap and goes for 169 euros or 179 US dollars. Okay, let's jump right into the main attraction here, the World Time bezel. That's always interesting to look at because it gives us the globe on the wrist. To operate this one is very simple. You just rotate the bezel with your location so that it sits right above the hour hand. Of course, in case you live in that village next to Baikonur, Kazakhstan or El Ingenio, Peru, you will not find your house on that bezel. No, you have to figure out which big city is next. And why do you have two cities on one position? Well, when it's, for example, 10 o'clock in Karachi, then this means 10 o'clock at night. And in San Francisco, then it's 10 o'clock in the morning. And so San Francisco wears that little minus to indicate that it's earlier there. So simple and effective. Simple is also the case that follows the typical brutalism of the 70s, where designers tried to find new ways in a bold manner. Interestingly, this case looks pretty simple and ugly when it appears flat in front of you. But when you turn it around, you may notice that there are some interesting angles and bows. But I think you need that connection to the 70s to value this. Interesting is also that the watch looks way better on the wrist than alone. It adds a strong contour and of course some contrasts. The dial is a fairly complex thing with mirroring indices, a minute scale, that dominant second hand that comes straight from a car dashboard. The design was in fact adopted very precise from an old Timex model, with that strange date window that simulates a 3D effect. Now to the size, it follows the original, and facing this form we should forget everything we've learned about proper watch sizes. You cannot judge this piece from its measurements only. 39mm diameter seems to be contemporary, rather moderate, but the almost square case adds a lot of metal to that number. The length is very moderate with that 41 or 41.5, and that is because of the short lugs. As a result, this watch will look totally different on your wrist than, let's say, a round Nomos or a Longines with longer lugs. And that's good, that's refreshing. Also refreshing is the plexi crystal and the price. Quartz is of course a little minus here because of that dominant second hand that will tick like the hand of a tower clock. But let's not forget we have something very affordable here, and sometimes that's just right. So little extra tip, when you like 70s aesthetics, check out the movie The Nice Guys with Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe from 2016. It's loaded with insane suits, beautiful cars and other elements straight from 1977. And with that tip, allow me to close this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, and see you next Monday to Watch of the Week.